What's good, fam? It's your girl, Texas Brown Sugar. Welcome to another episode of Relationship Realities, where we are going to keep it real, we're going to keep it relevant, and we're going to keep it a little righteous. Um, Go ahead in the chat. Let me know where you are watching from, what city. I want to know where my family is tuning in tonight. Oh, hey, Mama Bear, what's good? Oh, look at you. I see you to change the picture, girl. Looking nice. Okay, watch out, y'all. Mama Bear, hey, are you out here trying to find somebody? The peoples want to know. I'm not gonna put you out there on Front Street like that. But Sunday, happy Sunday, fun day. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Another Sunday where we're just gonna chill and just discuss everything and anything relationships. Mama Beardell said, "LOL, thank you." Um, Let me ask y'all this: who's already decorating for the holidays? If you are, go ahead, drop that Christmas tree emoji in the chat. I promise I'm not judging. I'm just observing, okay? Who has the holiday decorations started or about to start? Drop an emoji. um Fam, the holidays are slowly, I should say slowly because it's real quick. They are quickly approaching. So I can't believe it's October already. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Now I know some of my fam are not from the United States of America, and so they may not observe Thanksgiving, but we in November, the end of November, we celebrate Thanksgiving. And I want to know because it was a discussion that I had with one of my family members. I want to know, are you preparing to bring your boo? Now I know we when we talk about the holiday season, we talk about, we're gonna wear some matching pajamas and the mistletoe and meeting the family. Yup, meeting the family. So, when is the right time to bring your partner home for Thanksgiving dinner without your aunties whispering, without your grandma talking about wedding bills? Drop in the chat, would you bring your boo to meet your family this year or no? Let's talk about that. Mama Bear Doll said, "Here it's Thanksgiving." Oh wow! Well, Mama Bear Doll, happy Thanksgiving! Wow. She said Halloween, and then they have Christmas. I don't decorate for Christmas before November 11th. Okay. Wow, interesting. Happy Thanksgiving. Um, how soon is too soon? Does introducing your partner mean that you partner to your family? Does that mean that you are serious, or are you just, kind of going with the festive vibes? In my family, because my family is is very conservative. And if you bring in somebody to the house, that means you are serious. There's no situationships when you're coming walking into my house, into our family's homes, because the aunties will get to talking. And some of the aunties, I'm sure plenty of y'all have these aunties too. They don't play. Like, they are very blunt. They don't care how you feel. They're going to say what comes out of their mouth. So it's almost like you have to prepare your boo for the family and vice versa. Ladies, would you bring him home to meet your dad if you are just in a situationship or trying to figure it out? I mean, my family is so conservative that my great uncle, my great uncle, this is not even my dad, not even my grandfather. This is my great uncle. He I brought someone home when I was in college. And, I was like, oh, this is my long term boyfriend. I thought I was cute bringing a guy home, at a family gathering. And my great uncle was like, why am I meeting him? And I was like, because this is my boyfriend. He was like, no, why am I meeting him? And he did this in front of the boyfriend. I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, because he's, and I'm trying to laugh and play it off because he's my boyfriend. He was like, no, for real. Why am I meeting him? I did not get it, what he was trying to say for the longest. It wasn't until the end of the evening when I figured out what my uncle was trying to say. He was basically saying, if you are not planning to be with this man for the rest of your life, you are wasting my time introducing him to me. Because my great uncle essentially was saying he didn't want to establish a relationship with somebody who was not about to be in the family at all. And I was like, oh. I felt a little weird. I was like, yeah, it took me a little while to get it, but I got it though. Mama Bear Doll said, I don't think it's a set amount of time as much as it's a certain stage in the relationship. It's got to be secure. I t- I agree, because some people will be at the mature level of the relationship in 3 6 months, whereas others it's a year. For my guys in the chat, let me know, how soon is too soon to meet your girl's family? And would you feel pressure to meet with them? Is Because I know with women meeting the family, it's a lot of pressure, because women women meeting other women in your family, the aunties, the mom, the grandma, baby, they don't play about their son, about their grandson, about their uncle. So I can only imagine what it's like for a guy to be in that situation. And I thought it was interesting because I wanted to look up some of the stats, and this is very interesting. Um in a survey, this is a survey done by Bloomsy Box. In a survey, they said 35% of the people that completed the survey said that they coach their families before introducing a new partner, whereas 65% say they prepare their partner for how to walk into the family home, to the family gathering. For me, it's always been, I got to prepare my partner for my family, because my family is very intense. My family will let you know how they feel about you and won't care how you feel about how they feel about you. And it's like I felt the need to prepare this person. And it just makes me wonder, like, I'm putting in all of this effort to prepare my significant other to meet my family. Is this something that I want to take and put energy into if this person is not going to be around? Let's flip it. Would you feel some type of way if your partner didn't invite you to Thanksgiving this year? Because that's funny because I found myself in a similar situation where you get a real funny, like, oh, he didn't invite me to Thanksgiving with his family, but I wouldn't have invited him to my Thanksgiving dinner, so why would I expect to get an invitation? I'm just saying. Mama Bear said definitely prepare the partner because these family members can be brutal. And I mean, grandma asking about wedding bells and when's the wedding? I mean, y'all probably maybe y'all met on Hinge only 3 months ago. It might be way too early to introduce your significant other to your family. And I thought it was real interesting too that according to Market Watch, a pretty, you know, I trust. I Again, you got to trust where you get your stats from. Market Watch is a pretty good uh, website. They do a lot of great articles too about finances. They said that millennials introduce their partners to their parents on an average of 10 weeks. Can you imagine introducing your significant other to your parents after only 10 weeks? That's like a little over 3 months. Almost 2 months, really, two and a half. I can't count. Like, that's a lot. But I know in some cultures, this is what is expected. And it makes sense when you think about it. Because when you introduce your significant other to your parents and or family, there is a sense of accountability that your family holds you to, where you feel like, and then some of those cultures where you have to do right by your family name. And those family members typically have a lot to say about the relationship or about that person. Oh, I don't like him. I don't like the way he does X, Y, and Z. And that could get a little bit tangled because you also have the family members giving you their feedback about this person and about the relationship. So, I mean, I could see twofold how you would introduce them early on to kind of help hold you accountable for being in a relationship that is healthy. Uh, but at the same time, man, 10 weeks is early. I, Look, Mama Bear Doll said 10 weeks. I'm still deciding if he's going to stick around at that stage. Exactly. Uh, you know what? Let's play a real quick game. What are we gonna say? I'm gonna call it. What would you do? What would you do if you're you're planning to bring your boo home for Thanksgiving and you find out the day of on your way to Thanksgiving to your mama's house that she didn't invited your ex? What do you do? That has got to be that's got to be very awkward. Can you imagine? I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Have you ever introduced someone to your family too soon? And how did that end up? Was it awkward? Because, see, with my family, families tend to get attached to people. Just like, the ex coming over, the mom inviting the ex. If your family likes your ex, they're going to continue to talk to them and invite them over for Thanksgiving. And how awkward is that when you bring somebody else? Oh no. That's a lot. That is a whole lot. Uh I mean, bringing your partner home for the holidays and maybe I need to be talking to the millennials about this. Isn't just about, you know, Thanksgiving dinner. You have to make sure that it is the relationship. It's all about emotional readiness, the family boundaries. Maybe your family is not ready to meet your significant other because they tend to get emotionally attached. They tend to want to hurry up and rush and get you married. So they're going to be talking about wedding bells. You got to be careful about that. You don't want to invite someone into your family circle, especially if you haven't even decided if they deserve a seat at the table. Not just the Thanksgiving table, but your table. I don't know. Let me know. What is your rule? How long do you wait before that first family intro? 1 month, 6 months, until there's a ring on it? Let me know. Let's be careful, y'all. Let's be careful. Mama Bear Doll said, I would ask my mom what she would be up to. My ex is really hated by my stepfather. Ooh, yeah, that part. And what happens when your family don't even like them? How do you handle that? That's that's got to be difficult. That's got to be difficult. Okay, enough about bringing your significant other over for the holidays. You can't bring them over for the holidays if you don't even have someone who is asking you out on a proper first date. I say that because Willow Smith, the daughter of Will Smith, had a lot to say about first dates. She said that she can't even remember the last time that somebody asked her, would she like to go on a date? She's asking, like, what happened to actually dating someone? Now, I get it. Willow Smith is not your average person, but I think she has a point here. Are people really truly asking and utilizing the words, verbalizing, would you like to go out on a date? Let's see what let's see what she had to say.
Not just delusional, or people asking other people out on dates is kind of like old school. Like, The last time, I don't even remember. I don't even remember the last time someone was like, "Hey, would you want to go on a date with me?" Like, I'm gonna start saying it again. Okay, yeah, people still hang out in a romantic way, obviously, but like to explicitly ask someone out on a date and use those specific words, especially someone that you don't really know that well, like that's like a different kind of thing. Like, would you want to go out on a date with me? Like, when was the last time someone asked you that?
Great question. Chat, when was the last time somebody asked you, would you like to go out on a date? Use those words, not do you want to link up? Do you want to pull up? Not you want to Netflix and chill, even though I can't believe people actually say that. But when was the last time they asked you on a real date? Does that even exist anymore? Because y'all know I'm not in these streets anymore, so y'all have to educate me. But I do know when I was out on the dating scene, it was slowly like phasing out for people to really truly stop and say, "Hey, I'd like to take you out. Would you like to go out on a date?" And a lot of people wouldn't even use the word date. They would be like, "Would you like to go and hang out? Would you like to go out?" And so I can't even imagine what it's like now. Do y'all think that people have forgotten to court? I know that's like an old school word. Most people probably don't even know what that means. But that's like dating with intention to court. Actually, let me see what does AI have to say? You know, they always got something to say. Like what does to court someone mean? Okay, so AI is saying to court someone can mean to pursue a romantic relationship with them, often with the goal of marriage by trying to win their affection and attention. Mm. So, do people court anymore? Or is it all about situationships and I'm just vibing with them for the moment? What happened to intentionally dating someone? Is that gone out the window? Mama Bear Doll says Willow Smith does have a point. Going out on dates don't really happen anymore. Why is that? Is it fear of rejection? And I'm saying that on the part of the gentleman, because I have been told by a couple of gentlemen, sometimes they choose not to ask someone out on a date because of fear of rejection. Or we just as a culture have become lazy and don't put any energy or really put forth what it takes to court somebody. Ladies, when was the last time that a man planned a date, planned the time, planned the place, planned the purpose, and didn't just say what you trying to do? Like when have they been intentional? When was the last time? And fellas, are y'all afraid to use the word date now? Because then that, I don't know, gives off that you're being intentional, that you actually want to get to know that person. And that's not what women want now. Or do you think that women don't appreciate it anymore? Because I have heard that before, that women don't appreciate dates. And I'm gonna be honest, looking at some of the stuff that I see out on social media because again, y'all, I'm not in these streets, but what I'm seeing, some of y'all dating life, real talk, is like a Jenga tower. Y'all know that Jenga game you play where you pull the blocks out and see who can pull out the most blocks without the tower falling? That's what some of y'all dating life looks like. No wonder the dating game keeps falling apart. It's a Jenga tower. And I say that in all love. But y'all know y'all dating life is a Jenga tower. Maybe has the dating term changed? Like the definition of dating, has it changed? Maybe I'm too conservative. Maybe I'm too traditional. Maybe I'm too old school. But do people even know what that really means anymore? Mama Bear doll said the first anniversary after my daughter was born. She is now 12. That's the last time somebody actually was intentional and basically used the word date. Y'all, that's a long time ago. Like, what do we need to do to bring that back? And quite honestly, what is the difference? Help me out. What is the difference between just hanging out and going on a date? Does it really matter what word I use? Uh, and maybe I don't know if y'all see my recent reaction video that I posted last week. Ooh, that was a doozer. Check it out if you have the chance to. But now it makes me wonder, are people even just skipping the dating phase and just jumping right into situationships? Cuz with that video with the young woman and what she was talking about, oh, the whole date just went out the window. I don't know. If you miss being asked out the old school way, and as my youngest says, in the 19s, actually the 2000s, where somebody actually put in effort and used words. If you miss that, put put a heart emoji of some sort in the chat so I know that I'm not the only one who misses the old school way. And I don't know, maybe it's social media that has really made us very casual about connections. I mean, there's so much that you could go into with that because I also feel like we don't even know how to be around each other in person because we are so connected to the internet, the network, and the personal emotional connections are being lost. And this whole the whole hookup culture, don't even get me started on that. Whoever started that, I need y'all to take that back. Like, yeah. If we're all being truly honest, hookup culture don't benefit nobody. It don't benefit nobody. And it's changed a lot. A lot in how we approach each other. How we view the purpose of the woman and view the purpose of the man. Ladies, why do we reject guys? I, I need us to bring it back. I need us to bring it back. I mean, everybody wants love, but nobody wants to initiate it and initiate it with clarity. That's why we go on these emotional limbos and it's causing nothing but like facts, confusion, chemistry. That's what it is. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know. Are we dating anymore? And where is it gone? I don't know. I don't think Willow's wrong. I think she's right. And that this art of asking has definitely faded. Definitely faded. And I think intention is very attractive. If you can't use your words to express your intent, your interest, then I want to believe, or I seem to think that will you be able to build a relationship? If you can't use your words to express your intent with me, to express your interest in me, how are you going to use that to build this relationship? I don't know. Something to think about. And I think we need to stop normalizing this hookup culture, this situationship. We need to normalize, would you like to go out on a date with me? Let's bring it back. Not only because I think it's sexy, but I think because it's respectful. I don't know. Let's keep it 100. Why do women feel like they have to prove their value? Why do you think that is? And I'm sorry, I'm jumping on to the next topic because we just got done talking about, dating and being intentional and clarity. But now let's talk about proving our value. Do you think that women have to prove their value while men, they just show up? Or is it the other way around? Check out this with Miss Sarah. I think it's Fontenot from Is Giving Podcast. And again, all the links I will put in the description to these videos. Let's see what she had to say about women and their value versus men.
Women have to prove their value, but men just have to show up.
I think it's the opposite. I think men have to prove their value and a woman just has to show up.
It depends on who you asking.
No, I think if you're pretty, you could get access to the parties, to the invite only, to the private yachts, to the billionaires club, just because they want to have you in the room. Now, we know what they want you in the room for, but if you're smart, you don't go for it. You work the room so that they invite you directly after. Whereas men got to earn the money, have the job, get the accolades, do the achievement in order to even almost have access to some of the things that she gets. So I actually feel like beautiful women get much more opportunities than men do. What y'all think?
It just depends on who you're asking.
Personally, I don't know the answer. I just feel like for me personally, I think that as a woman, I get more opportunities than a man because I think that men want me to be in the space, but they don't expect me to come with the character or the work ethic that I come with. And that's what keeps me in the room. What I look like might get me to the room, maybe if I know somebody, but what I'm built by or built of is what keeps me in the room.
Fam, do you think women or men have it harder when it comes to proving their worth in dating and relationships? Turning this back to dating and relationships. Is it harder for men or women to prove their worth. Drop a I don't know, drop a strong arm if you think it's harder for men to prove their worth, or drop a lady in a dress or the dress if you think it's harder for women to prove their worth in relationships. Now, Miss Sarah, as she goes by, said that pretty women get access to the room. And I thought it was interesting. She said character is what keeps them there. How true is that? Do you think it's easier for us to get into the room? Easy for us to just get a man's attention and get on that first date? Have we mistaken attention for admiration? Hmm. Mama Bear Doll says she thinks men, okay, that it's harder for men to prove their worth. Fellas, do you feel like you're working twice as hard just to get noticed? Also, I think it depends on the room in which you are in. Because if you are in the room, if there are many men in that room who have very similar or even higher accolades than you do, yeah, honestly think it's hard for them to get noticed. And the same for ladies. I will say this. There is such a thing as pretty privilege. And I'm not making this up, but there have been many studies to show not only in the workplace, but in society as a whole, that prettier people are viewed as more intelligent. They're viewed as more kind, even though that person doesn't know you in that way. Like they could know absolutely nothing about you. There's no evidence whatsoever that you are kind, that you are intelligent, that you are trustworthy. But because you have a pretty face, people tend to think those things about you. And they call it, I think it's the halo effect. And prettier people tend to get hired more than those who are not as pretty. It's just it's a simple fact. And I totally agree with what Miss Sarah said, that because of the pretty privilege, we can easily get on that first date. We can easily get on in that meeting, on that golf course. But I think we have to then step up and know what our purpose is, to be able to one up, to be able to stay in that room, in order to be able to stay in that relationship. Because it's easy to be chosen for a first date, but do we have the character? Do we have the wisdom to be able to get chose to be a wife? Speaking of chose, I've told this to my oldest daughter, that she should not want to be chosen but that she needs to choose wisely. Yes, I'm grooming her to be the best wife, best mother that she possibly can be. And whatever God has planned for her, I'm going to help her in whatever way I can. But I want her to understand that she needs to choose wisely because she gets to choose. And I know that is probably contradicts what a lot of modern relationships are about. I don't know. I mean, I want her I want her to so I guess my question is, does soft life mean that you don't have to prove anything? Or does it mean that you know your value, so I don't have to chase after anyone? Because I want her to know that she doesn't have to chase after anyone. That she should be able to choose wisely. I maybe I'm wrong. Mama Bear Doll said men work hard to get noticed, women work hard to get respected. Ooh. I wholeheartedly agree with that, especially now. I I think a lot of these women have tainted the pool so much that we're all like grouped in the same we're all in the same pool. All men want to put us in the same pool, that we're disrespectful, that we don't know how to live that soft life, that we don't know how to cook, that we don't know how to clean. And so it's almost like the respect for the woman as a whole is lost. Hmm. I, I don't know. Fam, drop a fire emoji if you've ever felt underestimated until you had to as as your boy said, pop out and show them. If you've ever felt underestimated until you showed your character, until you had to pop out and show them, drop me a fire in the chat. I I I think men and women experience it, definitely. I just wonder who has it harder. And can you consider it a privilege, pretty privilege, if you are not prepared? Can it be pretty privilege? Just because you were able to get that first date, is that still considered pretty privilege? Especially if you're not ready, prepared for the date. You just, I don't know, there to get a free meal. Men, do y'all ever feel overlooked if you don't have the money, but you have you have a solid emotional intelligence and solid mentality, and that you've got your legacy plan? Do y'all ever feel overlooked? I would gather to say yeah. Ladies, I think we have to stop holding men to a standard that is not unrealistic. Hold this provider standard that doesn't match reality. It's that standard is not even in your dating pool. Like that standard is in in the pool in the next town over. Again, I really truly think there's a thing called pretty privilege, and I think that the pretty privilege and your looks can open many doors. And I agree with Miss Sarah that your character is going to pay the rent in that room, because your character is going to go much further than your looks. You can get in the door, but what you going to do once you get into that door? Access is easy. Especially if you are attractive, access is easy. But what is your impact in that relationship? And not just a relationship with the opposite sex or a romantic relationship, but what is your impact with any relationship, whether that be at work, whether that be with your family member? Remember that the goal is not to be invited into the room or be invited into that relation, to that date, but it's to be remembered for what you can bring to the table. Everybody wants to talk about what you bringing to the table. You got invited to the table. Now what you bringing to the table? Don't show up pretty. Show up prepared. Pretty is going to get you noticed, yes. But it's purpose that's going to get you chosen. Purpose is going to get you chosen. Mama Bear Doll said men are overlooked for money, height, and similar factors. It's sad. I agree. I totally agree. And those to me, those aren't standards. Those are preferences. And there's definitely a difference. It's like your fantasy. It's not character. Not at all. Y'all, thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight. This was a great discussion. If tonight blessed you or you enjoyed yourself this evening, y'all know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you have not already. Share this with your girls so that we can have another great sister girl sit down. Again, y'all could be anywhere tonight. In the next day, if you're watching this on replay, I don't take it lightly. Your time is very valuable. And the fact that you are here chilling with me, I am so grateful and thankful. And as always, let me know in the comments section what you want me to talk about next. What do you want to sit down and discuss next? I hope y'all have a great, beautiful week. I am not going to be with y'all next Sunday, fam, because we have some family business that we got to take care of. So unfortunately, I won't be online next week, but know that your girl is thinking about y'all. And I hope y'all have a very productive and very blessed week. I will see y'all in 2 weeks. All right.